Today I'm here to chat about some of my favorite forgotten products. These are things that you may have heard me mention a time or two depending on how long you've been watching my channel, but things that are staples at my bathroom counter, beside my bed, on my makeup vanity, things that I love and might have had to dig out of a purse or something like that to chat with you about, but I really do love these things and they're just kind of givens in my collection, so they don't necessarily make it into a favorites video, get ready with me, all that kind of thing. You may have noticed I am not wearing any makeup. I have on clear brow gel, mascara, and lip balm, but I just didn't really feel like putting on makeup and I still wanted to chat with you, and I don't have a ton of products that I wanted to like put on my face and be like, look, I'm wearing this. So I figured I would do a little bit more of a casual video. I'm wearing my Ivy Park Beyonce athleisure, or where I purchased it on Whole Look. And it can just be a little bit daunting being in the beauty community. I mean, as a watcher yourself, I am a watcher too. I'm also a creator, and there's just a lot of pressure to look really, really good all the time, and I don't look really, really good all the time. Like, I look at my absolute best when I'm on, you know, filming here, because I know I'm going to be filming, I know I'm going to be showing my face to, you know, a couple thousand people, but that's not what I look like most of the time. This is what I look like most of the time, so let's get started. The makeup item that kind of brought this whole idea to mind is the NYX Butter Gloss. I have it here in the shade Tiramisu. I love basically any of the nude shades. I have a bunch of them and they're all just kind of scattered around in random bags. And I noticed when I did my Ride or Die tag last year, I mentioned another gloss. I don't know what it was, maybe a MAC lip gloss, because I do love those. But this is the kind of thing that I keep in my purse that I love. They're so comfortable. They smell good. They're not sticky. They have decent wear time, but I mean, it is a lip gloss. It's not going to last on your lips all the time, but it's just so easy to slap on, and it's a product that I love, and I don't know that I've ever really chatted about it, at least in the past year or two. So I really do love that. And then another two lip products that I love are from Dior. They're part of their lip glow line. That's actually what I'm wearing on my lips today. So I'm wearing the Lip Glow Pomade, which is their Color Reviver Oil Care Gel. And then I also love the Color Reviver Balm. So this one is definitely a little bit more liquidy. It has a little bit more shine to it. This one is definitely more of a true balm, but what I love about them, again, is that they're easy. They're purse items for me. They kind of change based on your pH or the warmth of your skin, whatever it might be. They both have a bit of a pink tint, so this one is in the shade 005 Lilac. I also have a more berry one. They've got a few shades in the range, but they're just so easy. Add a little bit of color to the lips, but not to the point where you feel like you need to wear a bunch of makeup to kind of match that level of color. So easy just to throw on. And in the beginning of a lot of my videos, if I'm not wearing any makeup, I'm wearing one of these because I just don't like the look of like dry, crusty lips. So this is the kind of thing that I throw on or just keep in my bag for touch-ups or just general lip wear. Two lip liners that I cannot live without. One of them I mentioned actually recently. It was a repurchase because I lost the last one. This is the ColourPop Bound Lip Pencil. It is just so perfect for my skin tone. Goes with absolutely everything. ColourPop BFF3 is slowly becoming another staple. I just love their lip liners. But as I mentioned in that video, this looks super pink on the, oh my god. Looks super pink on the packaging, but it's actually like a really nice kind of deep color. Same can be said for this guy. If you see this anywhere, let me know where to purchase it. I love it. It is the Milani Statement Lip Liner in the shade Brandy, and this one is my absolute favorite. They're very, very similar. Brandy's a little bit deeper, but again, kind of shade that I can wear with absolutely any lip color, especially lighter lip colors. I love putting these two on the outside of my lips, then going in with like a little bit of a lighter color, and they're just so perfect and so complementary to my skin tone. So if you can find this lip liner anywhere, or if you know of a dupe for it, please let me know, because I'm running through it and I don't know where to purchase it again, besides on eBay for like 20 bucks. If you have been with me for quite a while, you probably have heard me mention this blush, and no, it is not the Bomb Insane Swiss Dot. That one I have talked to death. Same with like Kat Von D Lolita, her contour kit, her tattoo liner. Those are staples that come up all the time, but something that I don't know if I've ever really chatted much about is MAC Copper Tone. This was one of my first ever MAC blushes, and it continues to be just an absolute go-to for me. If I have on a bright eye, a dark eye, no eye makeup at all, no matter what, this this is the kind of shade that I just find myself reaching for all the time. I think that if you have a lighter skin tone, I think the equivalent to this would maybe be gingerly, because that was kind of what I was looking at first, and this seemed to be like a bit of a deeper version of that. It is just so nice on the skin. It's very, very neutral, but still has like a peachy undertone to it, which I just find is so complimentary to my skin tone. It's a matte formula. Matte blushes are absolutely amazing. It blends beautifully, and next to Swiss Dot, like this one and Swiss Dot are the kind of blushes that I just switch between all the time, and for whatever reason I feel like I haven't been using this much because there just has been so much new makeup happening, but in all reality and on the day-to-day, this is the kind of thing that I find myself reaching for. After I finished filming my best high-end concealers video, I was kicking myself because I forgot basically my favorite one. This is the Time Bomb Concealer. I wear mine in the shade medium, and I don't really use this under my eyes. I might have when I first purchased it. I don't know if you can tell, but I've actually hit pan on this, but I love this for spot concealing. Like for example, this week / past 2 weeks, I've had crazy breakouts. So I've kind of been trying not to even wear makeup that much just to give my skin a little bit of a break, but if I do and I want to wear something more full coverage or go on a lighter coverage foundation but cover up my acne that I have right now, I've been using this. And then I also love it too, even though I don't do it very often, but to kind of carve out my brows. So it's just a really nice creamy concealer. Kind of reminds me of the MAC Studio Fix concealer, which was one that I used for a long time that I also ran through. And it's not a product that I use that often because I don't often have really red acne marks, but when I do, this is 100% what I reach for, and I just think it's amazing. And as you know, the Balm is like one of my favorite brands. Two sprays that I cannot live without. The first being the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. I get questions all the time about my favorite setting spray, and I think that this is it. I have others that I love, but if I'm going out, if I want my makeup to wear for a long time, anything like that, this is the kind of thing I'm reaching for. I love spraying it before and after my makeup. I don't know that it does a ton to actually mattify the skin, but it definitely helps keep things in place. It may help with oils not coming through as quickly because your makeup definitely does last longer, it doesn't break down as much. It helps keep things vibrant. I think that it is just so good, totally underrated. And then another spray that I love, I use this generally before my makeup. They have come out with a second one with a different spray thing on it, and I have that. I just haven't used it yet because I'm still going through this, but this is the Face Atelier Ultra Matte, and it's kind of like a silicone primer mattifying spray, if that makes sense. So the pump that they have on it here now is not great because it did leave big droplets, but I do use this before my foundation, so it didn't really matter. So I'd spray this on my skin. I would even still use a primer sometimes, depending on how long I wanted my makeup to wear, how complicated I wanted my makeup routine to be. But it is just a really easy item to spray on your face, put on your liquid foundation, and it does help to mattify, smooth the skin a little bit. And again, it's the kind of thing, like these two in combination are the kind of thing that I reach for when I really want long wearing makeup, and Face Atelier is a Canadian brand. An eyeshadow that I had to include in this video is surprisingly not a rusty brown, an orange, a pink, a foiled gold. It's a matte cream, and it costs like 99 cents or $2. I have a lot of trouble finding matte cream shadows that don't look really, really stark on my skin, and this one is just perfect. It's from Wet n Wild. It's one of their single shadows in the shade Brulee. I love using this to set my eyeshadow primer along with highlight under my brow bone if I'm going to go that route. It is just so beautiful. It has tons of pigmentation, really, really creamy. I know people that have a lighter skin tone that use this to set under their eyes, and I just really, really love this. Speaking of eyeshadow primer, a primer that I love, and I have talked about this a good bit before, but not recently, I don't think, is the NARS Smudge Proof Primer. This is the first eyeshadow primer that I used that actually helped keep my eyeshadows on. For a long time, I just didn't wear eyeshadows because they just wore off because I do have oily eyelids. The Urban Decay Primer Potion did nothing for me, and I'm talking like 5-6 years ago when that was like the jam on YouTube, and I had never tried Painterly Paint Pot. I do like that, but I tried that and I was like, no, that doesn't work for me. So I tried this, and I feel like the people that love it really love it. I know like my friend Ashley, who has a makeup channel, loves it. Casey from It's Blondie loves it. We all have oily eyelids, and I think that it's great. I mean, it's definitely a higher price point, but if you're purchasing high-end eyeshadows or even drugstore eyeshadows, you want them to last on your eyes. There's no point spending the money on an eyeshadow if it's not gonna, you know, stick to your eyelids for any period of time, or by the end of the day you just end up looking completely haggard So I definitely think that this is worth a spend. Another NARS item that I love, that I splurged on, but I do love it. I love it. I love it. It's the NARS itttt brush. It's like 50 bucks. And I bought this and I was like, Samantha, why? And I know that there's probably dupes out there now. I haven't really had much experience with them, but I will say that I do love this brush, and it is 100% what I use to contour basically every single day. I think that it just does such a good job on the cheekbones, on the nose, on the forehead, along the chin. It just blends. When you first get it, it does shed a little bit, and that's to be expected, because I actually contacted customer service. I was like, what's up with that? But they said it was normal and it stopped shedding after a couple uses, but it is just so good. Lastly, on the makeup side of things, before I get into some hair care, skincare items, are the Body Shop Shade Adjusting Drops. I have a full review on these, and I have mentioned them a few times, but I really do love them and I use them all the time. I have a good bit of trouble matching foundations to me, be it they're not warm enough or they're a little bit too deep, because I'm in this weird in-between skin tone. So I don't really like the darkening drops. I find that they're really cool toned, but you could use them for like cream contour, or if you have like a deeper cool skin tone, then they may work. But for me, what I love are the Honey Bronze Drops of Sun, and these are like kind of a gel formula, but they're really golden, really warm. I don't find that it really alters the formula of my foundation, and you could also use it as a liquid bronzer, and they're just, it's a godsend, honestly. And then I also do like the lightening drops. These are just more of like a white pigment, and they don't lighten your foundation a ton. Like if your foundation is like 3 shades too deep, you may end up having to add too much of these. But if you get a little bit tanned, if you end up getting a little bit paler, if your foundation is just a little bit off, I think that these are just so good, because it can be really hard to find a good foundation match sometimes. And if you have a few foundations, I think that these are worth investing in, because I find myself, like all of these other products, reaching for them all the time. Let's move on to a few really random products, but these are things that I use all the time that I really haven't mentioned much, although the first one that I'm going to mention I have talked about a few times, and I can't show you the front of it because it is just so full of hair. But this is the Tangle Teaser. The one I have is the Aqua brush. It has like a hole through it. I don't really know what that's about, but if you have curly hair, wavy hair, if you have the kind of hair that, like, if you brush it when it's dry, things just go crazy. Like, I would never ever brush my dry curly hair. Like, I go to a hair salon and they start brushing my hair, I'm like, no, I'm not coming back here. I've had so many nightmare hair experiences, but this is amazing. I use it in my curly hair routine. I use it when my hair is wet, full of conditioner, and it just does such a good job. Sometimes I'll run through my fingers, but this does a great job brushing my hair. It doesn't feel like it's pulling out a ton of hair. It doesn't hurt, and it just does such a good job. I didn't believe in it. It was really popular years and years ago, and I purchased it on Beauty Bay at the time. You can get it on Sephora now. They've got a ton of different versions, but I think that it's amazing. I know people with straight hair love it too, and it is so good. It has changed the hair game for me, and it is something that I will never not have. Again, these are 2 items that I barely even want to show to you because they're so dirty, but they get a lot of use. Okay, you saw them? You see them? Okay, putting them back down. These are kind of like makeup remover reusable cloths, essentially. The 2 that I just showed you are actually from Dollarama. I'll show you this one again. It's not super dirty, but this is actually really good. Does a similar job to my Sephora Black Magic makeup remover cloths. I absolutely recommend those too, because you get 2 in a pack. I haven't used the makeup eraser, but from what I've used of its cheaper dupes, they do just as good of a job. So as I mentioned, this one's from Dollarama. This one is like a microfiber cloth. It doesn't do the same thing on your face, and I basically just use this one to wipe off makeup brushes, wipe off my makeup desk. Sometimes I'll use it to remove swatches on my arms. I just have like 5 or 6 of them floating around all the time, so that way you're not reaching for like bathroom towels or anything like that, or paper towels or makeup wipes, because that can get quite wasteful. And these are the kind of things that I reuse all the time. I've gotten a few questions before about whitening my teeth, and I do use like a whitening toothpaste, but what I think makes the biggest difference for me are the Crest white strips. I do need to do it again soon though, and these are, I'm going to use these ones. These are the 3D Crest White Strips Supreme, and I think these, yeah, 28 strips, 14 treatments. So this is the one that you use every day for 2 weeks, and I really do feel like these do a good job. I have sensitive teeth, and I find the ones that you leave on for 2 hours can be a little bit too harsh for me, but I have done it before if I just want to whiten really, really quickly, if you don't feel like you're gonna follow through on the 14 days, but it is easy enough. It's a good way to like stop snacking for me, because I'm like, okay, this is like a half hour where I can't eat anything, but they do a phenomenal job whitening my teeth, and I think that they really do last quite a while. You don't need to use it super often, and I think that these ones are the best on the market. I have been using this razor, not this exact razor, but the Venus razors forever. I don't think that I ever have purchased a not Venus razor. It's just a brand that I started with when I was really, really young, so I've probably been using it for about 12 or 13 years. Yeah, for sure. Wow, that's some brand loyalty. So I really do love this razor. I generally ask for it at Christmas time, get the Costco pack. You get a ton of razors in there. It'll last me for like a whole year, and then again at Christmas again, I'm like, bring on the razors. So it does just a good job. I mean, there's not much to be said about it, but it's got like the little ball here. It moves nicely. I don't get a ton of nicks. It doesn't feel like it dries out my skin. It's just a really good razor. Lastly, I want to mention this micellar water from Garnier. This is the green one. It's the mattifying one. I use it in the daytime. A lot of the time I'll skip a cleanser in the daytime and just use this, as you would have seen in my daytime skincare routine. I love the blue one at night for removing eye makeup, face makeup. I have used the pink one. I definitely prefer the blue and the green, but it just does such a good job, and micellar waters can be expensive and you kind of use a lot of it if you're using it definitely twice a day. And this is such a great item. I picked up the blue one on a whim many months ago, and I didn't really have high expectations, but I was kind of like, it's $10, it looks really big, hopefully this is good, and it ended up being amazing, and it's just such a staple in my collection, and I highly, highly recommend it. So those are some of the random amazing items in my life, my daily routine. If you were to take these away from me, it would not be pretty. Let me know down below, what are some of your staples? Do you have any of the same staples as me? If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!